Hey guys, this is Jeremiah Gales over at Stone Blue Airlines, and today I thought I'd do a nice narrated voiceover segment on new video that we're putting out. So just got into the store, the brand new Horizon Hobby, the Icon A5. It's their E-Flight model. This is the full size, not the micro. And I was really excited about getting it. Have wanted a water bird for some time, and decided to get these in the store, add them to our list of aircraft that we offer, and go ahead and set one up with full FPV. So what you're watching here is my DVR footage. I'm on 5.8 gigahertz video, and we are taking a look at the Icon A5. And the image you're seeing there is, of course, the full-scale one. I am dealing with an FPV smaller version, and doing a quick little test run here on FPV with it. Went down to my local river. Had made it previously out on a nice little lake, no FPV gear, and to say that it was an uneventful maiden is something. It was just so easy to fly, easy to take off. Here's an inside of the cockpit, not on the model, but on the real one. Really cool plane. So it's neat because it's modeled after something that does exist in the real world, and that's pretty cool. It looks awesome, and honestly, it flies really, really well. So where I live in our area, we have what's called the James River. It was a big thoroughfare in Virginia. A lot of commerce went up and down the James River for many, many years. And now it's not really used for that anymore. So if I had an Icon A5, I would take it off from here. No, I don't think actually would be allowed to do it. So the RC model side of things definitely makes it fun for that. We've got a nice big section. So this evening I was just down here with my kids and just kind of testing it on FPV and seeing how water takeoff and landings would work on this plane after I put everything on there. And it was pretty easy installation to get all my gear. I mounted it up on the top canopy right above the prop section there, and there's our model. And what I find on this is it's running a 2200 3-cell pack, so you don't need a big expensive battery to fly this one on. And as far as flight time is concerned, you're looking at about 20 minutes of flight time on a 3-cell 2200. I'm running our jet fuel line of packs, and just nice, moderate flight. I have a RunCam Swift that's on the nose, or not on the nose, but not up on top, for my FPV cam, and I'm looking straight down on the canopy that's there. And as you see here, I am literally just flying right on the deck and just kind of cruising along. So I did a couple first test flights just to make sure everything was trimmed and running well, and then went right out and decided to start FPVing this thing. It's honestly a lot of fun just flying it really low like this, where I'm trying to get into some of the ground effect, use minimal amount of throttle, and just cruise along the top of the water. The RunCam Swift 2 has been kind of my cam of choice. I really like it overall. Setup functionality works really well, and video clarity is nice. So this was kind of later in the evening when sunlight's not ideal in the direction, at least heading towards our downtown area for flight, but as far as everywhere else, seemed to work pretty good. And I end up usually flying a few times, doing a few different adjustments on my cam as I kind of play with different light settings. Out of the box, it worked pretty darn well, but I usually turn on wide dynamic range, make sure that's on, and then kind of play with a couple settings. So as you can see, we've been up 7 minutes already on the bird since I have plugged it in, and or at least had power going to the plane. And I'm only at 11.6 on voltage. Here coming in for a landing, I've mostly cut back to about a quarter throttle just to bring her in. And then what I found is, you'll see a first skip, another little skip on this, is it lands really simply, but because of the kind of boat hull on the bottom, it tends to want to hop a little bit. So if you carry a lot of speed, it is so easy to do touch and goes. No big deal at all. If you carry too much speed though, you'll hop. So I'm coming in, nice glide slope, going to about quarter throttle, and then as I get in right into the bottom of ground effect, I'm basically trying to drop in and get the tail to set in. And what I found out after doing it multiple times is I was able to actually come in and do full up elevator once I basically got into ground effect, chop throttle at that last moment, full up elevator. I set the tail in and it just basically greases the bird right in. Super smooth landing, very predictable. I had a few guys tell me about basically as you're flying it, it wants to roll a wing over to the side due to the way the hull is and just the way the thing is set. And yes, I do see that it wants to, but that's somewhat of the way the design is, because on the wing tips, they're meant to go in the water and still float and you can lift back up. What I did find is, and not so much in this video, but I kind of drove it around on the water like it was a jet ski. And it's kind of fun because you can drop the wingtip and spin it around and just have a good time with it. And the nice thing is I'm not dealing with additional pylons and stuff to or floats to get in the way. So here I'm trying to get the bird set up and take a couple photos while it was out on the water. I posted on our Facebook page. Alright, so here we go. It does not take much. You'll see the water rip off the front. It gets on step really quick and with very minimal elevator input, back up in the air. So our downtown area is pretty cool. We've got a train track that runs just on the opposite side. Some of you may remember a couple years back we had a big train incident down there, and we actually lost a bunch of cars that flipped over and fell into the water, as well as caught fire. So it was kind of a big deal for us, and we made national news. Apparently somebody wasn't inspecting the railroad tracks as they should have. So on this final approach here that I'm flying, I'm maybe a hair over half throttle. I find right at about half throttle I can kind of keep it still in the air. The bird doesn't have, I would say it's more scale power system on a 3-cell. I know guys are upgrading and going to a 4-cell setup, but this seems to be just a very scale setup. You've got plenty of get up and go to get out of its own way, but you're not talking about like crazy vertical. But I'm not really worried about that with a plane like this. I want to fly at more scale. So I'm now off throttle at this point, and I was just kind of testing its glide slope, and I thought, oh man, I'm probably far enough around. Nope, I'm not really far enough around to make a final approach and see if I can just glide in. So at this point, I'm off throttle still, poking along, and then I'm going to make a left-hand turn, add in a little bit of throttle, probably less than half, just to kind of keep pushing the bird forward for me as I drop altitude again. Just wanted to do kind of a dead stick landing and see, okay, how long can I stay in the air with minimal throttle if I had to, as I'm goofing around with FPV and I'm not paying attention and run out of juice. So at this point, I'm starting to come back off throttle again and trying to set up for my approach to hopefully grease her in for a nice smooth landing, getting down in as low as I can. And as you see, I did one little hop, small splash, and she's down. Really cool bird. You can find it in the store. It's the Icon A5. And if you hadn't seen the full scale version of it, check it out. Guys, thanks for watching today's video. We'll see you next time.